All right, so I am holding my phone, so we'll see if this isn't too shaky. But I want to talk about how to handle a difficult client, like as far as a controlling client, because it is tricky. Like that's a really tricky thing. So what I'm seeing that some artists are doing is like they're ending up doing what the client wants, despite their knowledge and know-how on like things like flow, size, placement, right? Like that's like our job to make sure that those things are right. So what I'm seeing with a lot of art is like sometimes you're a great tattoo artist, but you're letting the client influence you too much, or you're afraid to speak out against the client, or I guess I should say that better. So or you're afraid to go against the client, right? So I got that totally. I used to kind of be bad about that, and now I look back at my work years ago and I'm like, oh, if I would have just done and stuck to my guns and did what I know what was right, or just not done that at all because the person maybe doesn't budge. So I will say that first and foremost, if the client doesn't budge and they want something that isn't going to flow or isn't going to be big enough to last, and stay looking nice, or just all around isn't gonna look great because of the way they want it done, you need to say no. You need to say no. Like your name is on that forever. You really need to say no. Like that's gonna be the biggest thing, is like learning to say no and think long term, and as far as like, that's gonna have your name on it just as much as they wear it. It has your name on it forever. So they may think it's great, but then when they show people that know what they're looking at and they say the person's gonna of course say, oh yeah, cool tattoo. But in their mind, they're gonna go, okay, don't ever go to that person, or okay, mental note. So one little secret I would definitely say would be to go back and forth with the client enough that you can eventually make them think that your ideas were their ideas. Now that is one little secret and trick that comes with time. Like I don't even know if I could like explain how to do that in a short amount of time. If you guys request it, I will do a video just on that, like how to make your client feel like the ideas that you're coming up with are their own when it comes to something that you may be like collaborating with a client, like you're going back and forth with it because it's something that's really meaningful to them. They want it specifically done. They want specific things involved, right? So there are tricks and ways of using your words, so different verbiage and stuff like that, to make people think that they thought of some of the ideas in the project, or whether it's the ideas or the style or the way it's put together. Just some quick little tips on how to deal with difficult clients. So you have your client that things that just aren't going to work, meaning they're not going to flow, it's not going to look good in time, the color scheme just doesn't go together. It just, they're not artists, but sometimes they think they are, or maybe they are artists and what they want is going to look cool, but it's not really something that you like or that you think is going to look cool. So maybe it's just not for you. So there's obviously different scenarios, obviously, with that. But if I had to say, one little thing that I always do is tell them, listen, there are rules to this, to what we do. There are rules, and some of those rules include flow. There's such thing as anti-flow, and a lot of times, I do a lot of larger pieces, so these are times that I'm dealing with really high-paying clients, okay? These people are coming in to spend, a couple $1,000s minimum. So, you want to respect these people. You want to show them that you respect them, but at the same time, you have to be kind, and you want to be kind and gentle at the same time as much as you can. You want to nurture your client as much as you can, but holding your ground as well. So I actually will say things like that. This is just a rule. We go with the muscle flow. I'll show them the muscle flow. I will explain why that's important. Like if they want straight lettering that goes across the arm right where the muscle would cut, but it's also a sleeve that's going to have lots of flow and stuff, like, that lettering, it's not going to look right. So, even if I have to go as far as putting it on the iPad and showing them how it will kind of warp, because you can like warp on there now, on the Procreate, and I can actually show them how the straight line, the straight lettering, if I put it on a curved bone muscle, it's going to bulge out a little. And you can show them things sometimes a little better. And most people are visual, like they need to actually see it. Most of us artists, we can picture things, we just see it, right? So you got to remember, there's a lot of people coming in that cannot. They absolutely cannot. It doesn't matter how many times you explain it. And we even have those people, unfortunately, that even when you have a complete mock-up on your iPad Pro and it's almost identical to the way it is, they still just don't have that 100% trust. Now, it's pretty rare, but it does happen. So what do you do? Like, how do you handle those people and still remain calm? So like I said, you mentioned the first part, there's rules. Second part, I would say is, and you know, we can draw up a couple different mock-ups, pretty quick mock-ups. Keep in mind, they're gonna be really quick, kind of rough drafts, to show you maybe a few other options in case you're still not happy or you're still not sure, because a lot of times that's like all it is they're not sure. So I'll even offer like a couple different things. Like if they're still questioning and kind of really pushing what it is that they want versus what is gonna be the right thing to do, I will even end with sometimes, if we can't come up with something, maybe I'm not the artist because what I put my name on is very particular. And they really seem to respond to that pretty well, because they did come to me because they saw my work in the first place, or word of mouth or whatever in the first place. Like, they're coming to me. So when I'm, you know, reiterating and readdressing the fact that you know, that there's a certain way that I work and there's a certain way that I like to put things together, and flow is really important to me, or color going together is really important to me, or the fact that your skin is darker and you're wanting all these dark tones and they're just not going to look the same, that part is really important to me. So letting them know it's also about them, yes, but this has got my name possible. You have the ultimate amount of flow, ultimate amount of size, you know, in the right areas. Things are big enough where they need to be, small things are where they need to be. So I think that's been like the biggest helper for me, is just to be able to tell the person, look, you know, this is like, I know you really want this to go this way, but I don't feel comfortable doing that. I don't want to do that because it's not really the right way. Or actually said to, and the only reason I made this video is I just had somebody that was like, you know, not difficult, he was great, there's, you know, nothing like that at all, just because you do really sometimes get people that are really, really stubborn and really like adamant about it, and those I will just have to let them go. I'm not doing it. I'm not putting my name on something that I think isn't going to be as awesome as it could be. But you know, so today, yeah, like he really wants a really straight thing going through, like a really S-shaped flowy sleeve that we're going to put together for him, but he wants the letters to go straight through the middle, and he does have muscle definition. So, you know, we went back and forth about it, and he just kept saying he didn't want the letters to flow with it, and you know, I just kept having to redirect him, I guess. That's another thing. Let's just go with that, try to keep this simple. Redirect. So redirect. That's actually part of the little secret of when you get people that are really, really hard. You keep redirecting them and agreeing with them. So always agree, always find something. You're not lying. You're actually finding something to agree with them with. So yes, actually I do like that. Yes, I like that idea. But how about this too? How about this too? And after a while, once you've talked to them for long enough, they will actually start to not realize which ideas and words were theirs as much and which were yours. And then, so of course, yours are the ones that are the best usually and make the most sense. And now again, guys, I'm talking about flow, placement, size, stuff like that, okay? So, you know, like after a while, they're gonna figure out that, or they're not gonna really know, but they're just gonna get the vibe and the feel that, you know, you're the professional. You know, a lot has been said now, right? Like, you're in your console, a lot has been said, and it just seems to like definitely be a win-win with that, I would have to say, because they're happy. They feel like they've like come up with some of the things, maybe, you know, I don't know really the psychology behind it. I just know it works. And I guess too, well, and another thing I would say would be just to remain kind and calm and like cool and upfront. The more transparent you are, the better, I feel like. Just, you know, people appreciate that. And just making sure that you're stopping and you're listening to their ideas just as intently as you want them to listen to yours. So, that mutual respect is just, that does go a long way as well.